Hello, and welcome to Appleton Engaged. I'm your host, Timber Smith, DEI Coordinator for the City of Appleton.
And I am Andy Anam, the Communications Manager for the city.
And Appleton Engaged is a podcast that explores the many people, organizations, and resources that make our community a great place to live, work, and play. So whether you're a longtime resident or just getting to know Appleton, join us as we learn more about our community together.
We are here again with another special guest, and she belongs to an event center showcasing distinctive elements that redefine the concept of gathering space.
Yes, actually, I'm pretty excited about today's episode because I think there's going to be a lot to learn here. I've already figured out that I don't know what I don't know, so that means I've got a lot to learn. And those are the episodes that always excite me in particular. This week's guest is Pam Seidl, Executive Director of Fox Cities Convention and Visitors Bureau. Hey, Pam, how's it going?
Hello, great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, awesome. You ready to jump in?
Yeah.
Pam, can you please tell us about yourself and your association with Appleton and the Fox Cities region?
Well, I have been in the Fox Cities for over 30 years, 32 years to be exact. I went to UW Oshkosh. I'm a journalism major from UW Oshkosh.
Hey, Titan.
Yay, Titans. Grew up in Wausau, actually. Came to UW Oshkosh for school, and then I got my first job here in downtown Appleton. I actually worked just on Morrison Street at an ad agency, and never left. Love this community. I have spent most of my career in marketing communications lines of work, and now have like the best job ever because I get to promote and market the community that I call home, where I've raised my family and that I love. So it's a great mix if I get paid to do this every day.
You kind of got the coolest product ever to promote.
I do. I do have an awesome product.
Well, Pam, can you please share with us about your resource?
So yeah, the Fox Cities Convention and Visitors Bureau is sort of the best kept secret that Appleton and the Fox Cities residents don't know about, because most of what we do doesn't happen here. Our mission is it's really economic development through tourism. We serve as the City of Appleton's tourism entity. That's legal speak for you tell us that you want us to promote you. But historically for our organization, so our organization was formed in 1986 as an arm of the Fox Cities Chamber. In 1988, we became a separate standalone 501c6 organization. And that's a great way to start the story because in many smaller communities, the Chamber of Commerce does tourism. In an area the size of the Fox Cities, there's enough going on here that we have two separate organizations with aligned but separate missions. I often joke, so the Chamber wants people to move here, raise their family, start a business, work here.
Yes.
I want people to come here, stay in a hotel, and then go home.
He said, come visit.
Come visit. But they're both economic development. And we'll talk a little bit about what that visitor economy can really drive here for quality of life for our residents. And I think that's where that's the great story of tourism for residents is visitors and the economic activity they drive help make the quality of life for our residents better in a number of different ways. We can talk about that. So, yeah, our organization is to promote and develop our community. It's an interesting thing because my product is this community. I don't control my products. Unlike a manufacturer who says, I make this widget and I'm going to make them in blue because blue's the new color. I don't get to control too much here because my product is the greater area. But we do a lot of marketing and a lot of selling of the community. We do very early on in the process with our organization, the City of Appleton partnered with adjoining municipalities and took a regional approach to tourism. And honestly, very forward thinking. And I think this community in general has done that in multiple different ways where we've taken a regional approach, and that has served us very well. And throughout Wisconsin, I have peer organizations who just marvel at what we've been able to do by working together in a regional approach, because when a visitor comes here, they just want experiences. They just want great things to see and do.
Right.
They don't care that the PAC is in downtown Appleton and,
Nope.
and Fox River Mall is in Grand Chute and the
No.
Bergstrom Mahler Museum is in Neenah. They just want to have all those great experiences.
And the drives are short.
Yep. So we serve 19 communities in parts of 3 counties. We serve Kaukauna to Neenah, over to Sherwood, the High Cliff area, and then down that 76 corridor, Hortonville, Clayton. We basically have the populated area between Green Bay and Oshkosh.
What are the real attractions that interest people or bring people in and want to visit? Or what makes an organization want to have their convention here?
There's a lot of great attractions here. And I think a lot of people, when they think tourism, you kind of think of that leisure travel, the vacationer. And sometimes people kind of struggle with the idea that this isn't a vacation or this isn't a tourism destination. It is a tourism destination. And visitors are here all the time, every day. But because our economy here is so mixed with other things, we're not Door County or Wisconsin Dells where your economy is driven by tourism. Sometimes tourism isn't as visible, but it still has a huge impact. We do tourism in 3 different areas: leisure travel, meetings and conventions, and we have a huge, wonderful asset here in downtown Appleton in the Fox Cities Exhibition Center that we've built that has helped us raise the profile in that meetings and convention space. And then we also do sports tournament, youth sports, mainly youth sports, but we do all kinds of sports tourism and travel. So our key attractions: Fox Cities Performing Arts Center, obviously one of our key attractions. Fox City Stadium, Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Downtown Appleton in its entirety. I always call downtown Appleton as kind of the cultural heart of the Fox Cities. You've got the PAC, you've got a number of museums between the Trout and the History Museum at the Castle, anchored by Lawrence University on one end, and people to just come downtown in this nice, very walkable entity in here in downtown is just been a very positive thing. Fox River Mall is a huge attractor. We see a lot of visitors that come from northern central Wisconsin and Michigan's Upper Peninsula for some of the great shopping at Fox River Mall.
Isn't Fox River Mall like the second largest mall in the nation or something like that?
And Fox River Mall, and retail has evolved in my career here with the CVB, but Fox River Mall continues to exceed all expectations in their category. They are doing very, very well as far as malls go. They've got some, the great retail base. That has helped us pull in, visitors. And then what I found early in my career here was all we got to do is get them, east of 41 and bring them in. And when they come and see our thriving downtowns, whether it be downtown Appleton or the quaintness of a downtown Little Chute or a downtown Menasha or Neenah, people say, well, there's a lot going on there. And I think if the number one quote I get from visitors is, I just never knew. And that's my challenge, right? I have to make sure that a visitor, knows what great things happen here so that they will continue to come back and spend their money and drive our economic activity.
Talking about the Fox Cities Exhibition Center, I had the opportunity to go, and it's a beautiful space. Okay. And you have on your website saying that there are 3 versatile spaces. So what kind of events take place? What kind of community events you see normally happening in the downtown? The
Fox Cities Exhibition Center is really a testament to the regional nature and our communities working together. For 30 plus years, we had been told we need more exhibition space, we need more space for groups. And it took that long to get that facility developed. And what it took was 10 municipalities coming together to pledge their hotel motel room tax. So the exhibition center, the bonds, we'll call that the mortgage, is paid for by hotel motel room tax. That is paid by visitors when they come here and stay in hotels. So that facility itself kind of, is paid for by the visitor to use. And it provides us an incredible opportunity to bring in larger groups, more groups to this area, a great way for us to showcase our community. It's such an incredible asset. And I think it's a good testament to, okay, so what does tourism money do for the local economy? Because we've had that space. We can have events like, Pierce Manufacturing's National Sales Conference, which we could never fit here before. We've had really great events, lots of Wisconsin state associations. We just had the Wisconsin Funeral Directors. And
what?
The funeral, they are a fun group of people, let me tell you.
Woo.
They
Okay.
are. No, they're great people, and they're anecdotally, I heard your hospitality businesses here in downtown were kind of buzzing with our funeral directors the last couple of nights. So fun group. We've had unique groups. We talked earlier. We've had the National Holstein Convention, which is Holstein breeders, very high end genetic, biologists, and yes, we were able to bring in a cadre of cows into the exhibition center and have them
Wow.
there because this we've done we do your standard trade shows, home and garden shows. We've become the home of the World Knife and Axe Throwing Championships
Wow.
that we put on in the exhibition center. We've done gymnastics meet in there. We've done cheer and dance. That is such a flexible, open box facility. It's allowed us to bring these groups. World Knife and Axe is based in Canada. Their other events are in places like Fort Worth, Texas, and Toronto. They never were in a market this small, and that facility has allowed us to play. We're definitely punching above our weight with that facility, which is amazing. But it also, again, this is where your tourism money builds an asset that is also good for the local community. That facility has been used for numerous local events, including the city prom. Lots of local organizations have done major fundraisers there and meetings. So tourism built that asset, and it helps not only drive not only tourism, but certainly quality of life here for everyone in the Fox Cities.
One thing I heard you mention, and I'm assuming like you must partner sometimes with some of our private sector employers around here for different things. Because you just mentioned one of the
Pierce, yeah.
Pierce, right? How does that work? And that seems like something that's pretty advantageous.
Yeah, one of the missions we've called Bring It Home. And we work with, we have such a great, huge number of national and world headquarters here in our manufacturing and corporate base. We've worked with those groups to say, hey, don't take your sales group and go to Las Vegas, or how about you bring it home here to the Fox Cities? We've got this beautiful asset in the downtown in Appleton, and that's worked. We've done that multiple times. Like I said, we were able to hold Pierce's National Sales Conference, which we never could have had before, as well as a number of other events with a lot of our local companies, because now we have a place to put them that really, I think, when you look at that facility, speaks to what Appleton is, and they want to bring in their recruits from around the country and their people from around the country to show them the quality here in the Fox Cities.
So what are some of the challenges you face sometime with the events you do, or you thought like the strategic team thinks things could have been better?
I think when we work with it, depending on the type of group. So meetings and conventions and sports groups, it's a lot about facility. So, if you don't have a USA Youth Sports Complex where you have multiple soccer fields and baseball fields, you can't bid on the state soccer tournament, right? You have to have the facility. Right now, we're currently hosting the Wisconsin WIA State Baseball Championship. Without Fox City Stadium, we couldn't host that event. And so, facilities first, but it is not a case of if you build it, they will come. Facility kind of opens the door and lets you come to the table and bid on it. After that, we have to sell. And as we talked about earlier, I have got a great product to sell. Downtown Appleton's walkability and safety and cleanliness, huge. I can't tell you how easy that sale is when we bring a meeting planner in and take them into the Hilton Appleton Paper Valley or the Copperleaf, and then take them right out and go, okay, you need restaurants, you need after dinner music, you need some bars, it's all here. Everyone can just park their car. You're not going to have to shuttle your attendees. You're not going to have to drive them anywhere. Once they're here, they can park, and the whole world is right here. And in including that, our friends at Appleton Downtown Incorporated, who do so much incredible programming here, the fact that there's Thursday night concert series and there's a farmer's market on Saturdays, that's just natural entertainment for a group that they don't have to pay money, to do that. We've had groups take advantage of when the PAC has like a Broadway run-in, and they'll offer a group ticket, advantage or just like a special price. If there's a Broadway run the night if they have an open night during their convention, they'll do that. So the fact that all these assets are right here within walkable distance really helps us make the sale for the Fox Cities as a destination. I would say on the challenge side, Sometimes our profile isn't as people here, bigger Door County and Wisconsin Dells, the profile of the Fox Cities, because we're not that sole leisure travel destination. Sometimes we have to get people here, but once we get them here, they see the incredible quality of this community, and it's usually an easy sale once I get them in the door.
Yeah, once they see it.
Yeah.
How can they say, yeah, I think we win all day? Mm-hmm. What don't we understand about the Visitor Bureau and tourism in our region, or what are myths?
Okay, what we don't understand, my number one sort of pet peeve is when our residents, who I know love this community, say like, oh, there's nothing to do here. A visitor will ask you never know when you're sitting across from a visitor, sitting at a restaurant, waiting for a table, sitting at a bar, and the person next to you says, hey, what's going on? What's there to do there? Oh, there's nothing to do here. Oh, no, there's lots to do here. And so I think first of all, the residents know that visitors are here, and they're here every day. And we just released visitor spending numbers. In visitors last year in the Fox Cities spent $571 million. Wow. So that is money that would have not come into our community, if we didn't have the visitors here. And that's a combination of the sports tournament attendees, and the meetings and convention attendees, and just the leisure travel. That's $571 million that was spent here. We've heard anecdotal stories. The Community First Champion Center, another big asset, really built in a very similar fashion to the exhibition center. That building is, the bonds or the mortgage are paid for by room tax. And it is busy with sports tournaments every weekend. And we've had comments from store managers at Fox River Mall who've called us and said, you need to tell me when you have another girls volleyball tournament in. We sold out of leggings this weekend. That's the point. Yes, we had a really big volleyball tournament, but the fact that stores at Fox River Mall are saying they're seeing economic activity, that these visitors are spending money in our community, that's this $571 million.
So if you have to tell a story to us to show the impact, and we can totally see the impact, and I'm not from the region, so I can see that beautifully, that how the Convention Bureau has, helped, get more visitor to this place and give a different lens of the potential this region has. So can you tell us a story that can tell us how important, what kind of the important work you are doing in the region?
Timber said I could get two stories, so I'll get two stories.
Go
So number
ahead.
one, kind of dovetailing on the Community First Champion Center story again, I think what, tourism is about, our mission is really for the residents, and it seems a little odd. Yes, my goal is to get people here and visit, but at the end of the day, it's about bringing quality of life to our local residents. The Community First Champion Center would not exist without room tax money. $30 million of that facility are all being paid for by 10 communities pledging their room tax dollars. Room tax is paid by visitors who stay in hotels. So on the weekends, we've got lots of visitors participating in tourism events out there. During the week, that is a world-class facility where local youth, 5 nights a week, and we have, I think, over 65 club teams that practice at the Community First Champion Center. Local youth who are there playing hockey, basketball, volleyball. It is the home rink to the Nino Hortonville Menasha ice hockey high school hockey team. It is home to Lawrence University women's hockey team. Many Wisconsin Blaze, many volleyball and basketball teams call that home. So our tourism money built it, but it's really helping enhance the quality of life for our residents, because they would not have a facility of that caliber without the tourism money that was generated by it. I would say from the other story, just really from what we're doing is, we have a group of people who are just passionate about this community, and we get to sell the best product. But I don't think people understand what that takes. Some of these convention and sports tournament groups are 3, 4, 5 years in the selling process. Right now, we're booking groups out to 2028, 2029.
Wow.
And so it's a very different mindset. You're not working for tomorrow. Many times you're working for 5 years out. So, and to feel that satisfaction sometimes takes a little bit. But the groups we've been working with, there's a timing and a cadence to their events. when we re-signed with World Knife and Axe Throwing, we even promised maybe the mayor might rename the town Axleton for, the weekend, which we thought was kind of fun. He said he would. But we started talking with that group, 3-4 years ago, and we've got them committed through 2025, 2027, and 2029. So that's kind of where, our work is usually quiet behind the scenes. You don't necessarily see us because, again, we're advertising this community outside of this community. But so many times when these groups show up, it's been about a 3, 4, 5 year process.
Are there any upcoming initiatives, events, or engagement opportunities?
We always have great things going on. I think right now one of the, front of mind for everybody is the 2025 NFL draft. And it certainly will impact this community from a tourism standpoint. There will be many, many visitors here. We're working, as closely with our friends at Discover Green Bay to make sure that the visitor experience in all of Northeast Wisconsin is positive. Green Bay will be the smallest community to ever host the draft, and we want to tell them we can pull it off. I think, what we know that they don't is we pull it off every year during EIA, Air Venture down in Oshkosh.
Yes.
So we kind of do that. 650,000 people every year. And so, that initiative will be key, especially with some construction going on US 41. But our goal is is to make sure those visitors have a very great experience here, that we can help with traffic flow, doing some shuttle busing and things up to Green Bay that helps, everyone have a great experience. But also, we're just 30 minutes away from Lambeau Field.
Yes.
If we were in a larger area like Denver, their airport is further away to their stadium than we are.
Wait, you can't get from one side of town to the other side of town in 30 minutes.
Right. So the mindset is that, the travelers will see this just as kind of extended. We have an opportunity to capture those people and say, we understand you might be here for the draft, but how about you consider coming back? And we're going to be really working with our partners to really show how cool this community is and to invite some of those people back to come back and spend a little more time in the Fox Cities, just because I know once they get here, they'll realize what a great quality of experience we have for them.
So is there anything the residents can do to be helpful?
I think number one is, like I said, you never know when there's a visitor. When you're talking to a visitor, you may not always know. If someone picks up a conversation or asks instruction, share your passion for this community. Visitors love the local experience. They don't want to go eat at a chain restaurant. They want to know where you go. And it might not even be the, kind of the trendy thing. It might be just a little corner of the wall cafe where you get coffee.
Yeah, that's exactly
where you get a stand. They want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know the little bar on the corner that has the best fish fry.
Mm-hmm.
So share that with people, and also invite your friends. Invite people here to have experiences. This is one of my favorite times of year in the visitor center, because inevitably it's kind of, we go into summer and school's over. I get a lot of grandparents in the visitor center, and they're like, I got the grandkids coming for 2 weeks. I have no idea what to do with them. and we have so many great things we're a very family-friendly destination.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, invite your friends and family here, show it off. If you own a business or you're a member of an association, you might be an accountant. You're a member of the Wisconsin Association of Accountants. You're an optometrist. Whatever you are, there's probably a state-level association. If your group has a conference, we are here to help you. And people kind of shy away because, let's face it, everyone wants to go out of town and to go attend the conference. They don't want to do the work. CVB staff is here to help you host those events here in the Fox Cities, and we will we will do that work for you, and we will make sure your attendees have an excellent experience when they're here.
Well, we talked a little bit prior to recording, and you also said there's some volunteer opportunities.
Yeah, we have some, and our volunteer opportunities are pretty easy lift, and they're really when at your schedule. So we have volunteers who help us with a number of different things. One is just, when we have a convention group coming in, large group, they need, the convention bags you get that have our visitor guide and the downtown Appleton guide and dining guide. And just, we have volunteers who come in and will stuff convention bags for convention groups or assemble name badges for convention groups. We also have a cadre of volunteers, and we're going into that right now as we approach EIA, that work visitor information tables, either on site here at the Fox Cities Exhibition Center and the Paper Valley Hotel, or during EIA, we have a table in baggage claim at the airport. And, that is, those shifts are just, telling people what a great community this is, helping visitors, find a great restaurant, find a great place to eat. And those two are just, as things pop up, our volunteers are not asked to do any minimum requirements, or they're just asked to know and love their community and want to be able to share that with visitors.
Who can people contact if they want to learn more?
They can certainly contact me. CVB's website is foxcities.org. That's a great place to start about our organization and our community. Our calendar of events is there for everybody. I mean, certainly for visitors, but we have one of the most extensive calendars of events in the Fox Cities. So if you're looking for something to do here, they can contact the CVB. Our office is in the Visitor Centers in Grand Chute at 213 South Nicolet Road. We're open 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. And we exist as a resource for local residents. We have all kinds of visitor information, not only on the Fox Cities, but also on other destinations around the state, and as well as the State of Wisconsin tourism publications. And yes, we have State of Wisconsin maps.
Is there any additional information that you wish to share at this time that maybe we didn't ask a question about?
I think one thing that sets my organization is unique and in this community, and again, this speaks to how forward-thinking our founders were and our founding communities were. It's our Tourism Development Grant Program. Our organization is a sales and marketing organization. That's what we do. We sell and market the region. I look at my Tourism Development Grant Program as my product development fund. It's how do I make my product better, my product that I don't control. So the CVB takes a third of the room tax. Our operations are funded by hotel motel room tax. We take a third of that money and we don't use it for operations. We put it into a grant fund that we then use to reinvest back into the community to make our visitor asset stronger. So and for instance, we just awarded a $750,000 grant to the Trump Museum of Art for their new facility. And we just presented the big check to the History Museum at the Castle for their You Are Here exhibit. So we have funded reinvested nearly $12 million back into this community, and in the forms of assets that are, and it's a capital program. So not a lot of grant programs are capital bricks and mortar, but we invest in trails, we invest in museum exhibits, we invest in buildings. Again, it's a tourism first approach, but those assets can also be used by our residents and really do, help their quality of life.
Time for a shout out. So who do you want to send your shout out to?
Oh, wow. First, I want to, send a shout out. We are a small but mighty team. There are 8 of us total on the CVB staff. And I want to, send a shout out to my staff who spend a lot of time selling this community and telling everyone how great this community is. And like I said, we're a small group, a lot of work that's done, and the support of our board of directors who really, really helps make sure that everything we do is in alignment with the goals of the municipalities we work for, but it really gives us the support to go out there and accomplish our mission.
We learned a lot. Pam, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you for having me.
At this time, we're going to start wrapping up this episode. Appleton Engaged listeners, thank you for giving us your mind, your time, your ears, and caring about another amazing resource within our community, making this place one of the best places to ever live. You already know we are trying to become the #1 podcast in Northeast Wisconsin, and we can't do that without your help. So let us know how we can be better. Please reach out to us. Let us know if you want new questions, different segments, if you'd like to be a guest, or maybe you'd like to recommend a guest. You can reach us at diversity@appleton.org. Once again, that is diversity@appleton.org. Also, we like to think that this little podcast known as Appleton Engage is something pretty special, and that the more community members out there that know about it, the more informed our community is, the better place this is. So we'd like to get this in front of more eyes and ears, and we do that through analytics. So while you're listening to us right now, take a moment, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you've got a few more moments, fill out a review. Let us know how we're doing. These things increase our analytics, and the better the analytics, the more eyes and ears get to learn about Appleton Engaged.
Thank you, Pam. I learned a lot, and I was appreciative of this community, but I became a little more appreciative of the community and the wonderful work your 8 team members are doing. It's not a small feat. Residents, it's not a small feat. I work as a communications person, and I know how much, how many mountains they move every day to make sure that our community and our Fox City region is full of tourism and a lovely place to call home. And how you can help? Tell your friends, family, and network to come and use the spaces built for you. Bring them home.
Exactly.
That's how you can help us. With that, until next time, stay thoughtful, stay curious, and stay engaged.